Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Web and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Web.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Web.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What up, Web? I'm Smith. That's Web, and we are the Wager Makers. This is the Wager Maker Podcast. Thank you all for listening. Getting through the Christmas and Hanukkah holidays, moving on to New Year's Eve. By the time people will start listening to this, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and everything. Big college bowl matchups in a few days. We'll be talking about that. NBA tip-off. NFL's getting down to playoff time. NCAA bowl games, all kinds of stuff going on. So hockey will be starting soon. We got lots to talk about today. Webb, this is podcast number 75.
75, baby. Time flies when we're having fun. I didn't really do much with the number. I knew where we were heading with the in terms of the player. But I am back here in the garage. Everyone can see I do have my new Cowboys New Era. We are not sponsored by New Era, but we could be, Smith. We could be.
We're willing. We're willing.
Yes, and let me crack a Miller Lite. We are also not sponsored by Miller Lite, but you know what, Smith? We could be.
We could be. We're willing.
So get on it, boys. Get on it.
Look.
So that was my my selfish, unselfishly unmitigated plug for us to get a sponsor. So
look, we could do it. Look, we could do it just the same as they used to do today. Tastes great, Webb.
That's right. That's right. Less filling. Tastes great.
You go.
That's right.
There you go. How hard is that? How hard is that?
I'll bust through the wall in this place. They're going to sponsor us, just like
right.
John Madden used to do.
There's
John
probably
Madden
some young
Bob
guys
Uecker.
listening out there don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
No idea. Bob Uecker and John Madden are laughing.
And that was the day. That was right when it started being where you couldn't even take a drink of this shit during a commercial. You had to just like hold it there and stuff.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
So back in the good old days when they smoked in the car and advertised cigarettes,
smoked in the hospital on a plane.
And everything. Right. All right, so I'm gonna take this one, Webb, number 75. You got to have your Bob Lilly and all your Cowboys boys. This goes back to my old days.
Hall of Famers, man.
Nothing better than a steel curtain, Webb. Mean Joe Green, the man.
Yeah, it's tough to argue with that. I mean, at Steelers, I have no love for the Steelers now or then. But I did like what was that? A Pepsi commercial back in the day when he tosses the
Pepsi or Coke, right?
I think it was Pepsi.
The guy to Jersey.
Yeah, the little kid. Yeah, or maybe it is. Maybe it was Coke. I don't know. That's funny.
Thanks,
I guess I probably
Joe.
should.
Thanks, Joe.
Then he cracks up the bottle, old school bottle of soda. So it's another old school thing. Yeah.
That was a good one.
I got a question for you, Smith. What's this with Sharon? Podcast number 942.
I should say, as Sharon calls it, podcast. I'm sure once a week when she gets thrown to the other room. Yeah. she calls it, or as Sharon would call, podcast number 942. That's what she said the other day.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the garage. I'm banished into the garage, so don't feel bad. No, don't feel bad. And it's 29 degrees, so.
Yeah, at least I'm in a living room. It's amazing the transformation that this place makes.
Right.
Occasionally my camera flips around and you can see what's going on the other side of this shit. But Sharon gets banished to the bedroom once a week, and that's the way it goes. Hey, it's for the team. Taking one for the team.
That's right. Soon enough, once everyone's listening on Spotify and we start getting paid.
Right. Keep listening. Tell some friends, man. Tell some friends out there. Speaking of which. All right, Webb, the big news this week, I guess, obviously, college football playoffs is here. We got Ohio State versus Clemson and Alabama and Notre Dame. We've been critical of Notre Dame a lot. We're even critical of Ohio State a little bit this year.
We'll see.
How do you see these games looking up? Do you think they got it right anyway? We can start with that. Do you think the four teams we touched on it a little bit last week? Do you think the four teams that should be there are there?
I do. I mean, who? The only other argument would be Texas A&M, and I don't know. I mean, they do have an argument, I guess. But like we said, I go by the eye test. This to me doesn't look funny, doesn't smell funny. If it looks like the top four and it smells like the top four, it's probably the top four. So I'm not upset about it. I guess I probably wouldn't have been upset about it either if A&M somehow got in. But I think this is fine. I don't have any bad taste in my mouth about it whatsoever. I do have some pretty strong feelings on the games, but in terms of who's in there, I don't have any issue with it.
Well, let's get right into it. You want to just get right? We don't usually save our picks, but the bowl games have been these bowl games are crazy, man. It's a flip of a coin. Not the Final Four. This will probably be a little more like regular handicapping. But man, some of these other games, you got to decide whether the quarterback is the quarterback of next year, who's going to the NFL, who's sitting out.
Not
it's just
playing.
It's become a mess.
And plus you throw COVID in there, Smith. And it's just almost like that back in the day. This was like the biggest. This is what they played for. They played for this, whatever bowl it was, Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl. And Rose Bowl was the biggest thing, the Pac-10 and the Big Ten, I guess it was at that point. But now it's almost like these are, if you're not making it to the four, no, you don't really care. I'm sure the schools care, and obviously the coaches care. There's a big payday associated with it. But, it seems like the play, it's almost,
it's
anticlimactic
for the teams.
Yeah, it's anticlimactic for top of the line players. They don't give a fuck. They don't care.
Right.
And it makes it extremely difficult to bet on it. Right.
Right, and it's a scary issue because you saw watching that game yesterday. We can bash the players for sitting out all we want, but then you got the quarterback from Miami yesterday. He's got a big payday ahead of him. He decided just the other day, I think he's going to come back to Miami for his final season.
Yeah,
but goes out there first quarter, second quarter, boom, knee, and it's the same knee I think he had an issue with and missed a year or two out in Houston too. So you can see why these kids have so much money on the line. Why they would choose to sit out in these games.
Yeah, I mean, when it first happened, I think one of the Boses might have been the first, or maybe I know Fournette did it too, but I don't know who did it first. Anyways, I didn't like it. I was pissed off about it, but now more and more I get it. Certainly, if you're not, and you're not seeing dudes in the top four, pulling in the playoff doing that. So, I mean, I get it. Like you said, it's crazy. And now, I mean, well, let me back up. The D'Eriq King thing. Let's give kudos. We do bash on the NCAA a lot. Well, with COVID, I think they gave just across the board every athlete an additional year of eligibility, no matter what sport it is. Which good on them. So D'Eriq King did say he was going to come back. So luckily, this is not going to cost. I mean, hopefully, it doesn't cost him any money. He's got a whole another year of college football to prove himself. So good on the NCAA and good luck to D'Eriq King. But there was another quarterback too, Smith, that got hurt right his shoulder. One of the guys. I don't know. The other kid got hurt.
The kid from Wisconsin today took a shoulder but came back. But there was another one. There was another one. Yeah, I think yesterday or the day before that. Texas.
That's to us. Thank you. Yeah, Sam Ellinger. And that kid is looking. I mean, he'll be a second round pick. So that will end up. He did need that game, and it's another showcase. But hopefully he's all right. I didn't see the diagnosis, but that's going to hurt him, man. I mean, for sure, because he will.
He's got one more year eligibility, and I think before the shoulder injury even came up, I think they had him listed. I was there when they were talking during the game as possibly like the 12th quarterback on the board. I find that hard to believe. That he's that far down.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Right. I was kind of surprised when they said that, so I kind of thought, well, he might be going back to college. If you're 12th on the board, you might not get drafted until the last day, if anything.
There's no reason for him not to go back probably at this point.
Right. And especially with the injury too.
Yep.
Just go back and prove yourself one more time. Especially you're going to play next to this running back that's the freshman, number 5 on that team. He's like they call him Mini Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
And this kid's going to be a beast. All he's going to do is hand off. Like they're going to have a better team next year, probably. So he's better off.
Right. And the high tide lifts all boats. He'll be even that much better. So, and they got a decent receiver too. I think they were saying. I saw some highlights. They're raving about that running back though.
All right. So there's been a lot of issues with the Final Four anyway, and the biggest issue I think people have had is about Ohio State getting in. They only played a very, very limited amount of games this year, even to the point where Dabo Sweeney, I think, in the coaches poll, put them in pretty disrespectful at number 11 in the coaches poll. You think that's going to have any impact on the game, or just some bulletin board material, or what do you think is going to?
I'm sure it's going to be played. And it's funny that Dabo did that because Dabo is a master of us against the world. We're not respected type thing. So I don't know. Maybe he's kind of using some reverse psychology on his team because he certainly can't play the underdog role here. I don't know that it has. It's funny that he would do that. It doesn't help him. So I'm not sure why he would do that. I don't know. It certainly would motivate me, I would think, if I was on Ohio State.
Right. Well, I think he's just trying to prove a point, to be honest, because he's been pretty critical of. During the whole process of Ohio State getting in, to be honest. I don't know if he just wants to keep them out or what, because of the amount of games. To him, like he said a few times, look, look, playing with the COVID has been part of the deal this year. And you only got 6 games. Like they played, for instance, they played and lost a game with, they were without Trevor Lawrence for I think 2 or 3 weeks because of the COVID. It was a COVID thing. Part of the thing was getting your team ready to play and having it, being able to field a team and make it to that amount of games. I guess Ohio State can't have full control over how many games they play or who they play, but certainly Ohio State had the COVID running rampant through their teams. There was games they missed 20 some players and missed a whole wide receiver room one time, and just really just had issues with the COVID. And so I think his point is that's part of the deal this year, that dealing with the COVID. But I don't know what you do. Like you said, I think the eye test, but the problem is I would agree with that before the Northwestern game. Ohio State had a little trouble with Indiana. And then they kind of rolled over some mediocre opponents, but then Northwestern kind of punched them in the mouth in that Big Ten playoff game. And so to me, I don't know that Ohio State is in the cream of the crop this year. I think a few weeks earlier I would have said, yeah, you can put them in no matter how many games they play, but I'm just not sure.
Well, I mean, when you're talking cream of the crop, that's a slippery slope. First of all, Dabo Swinney should just shut up and take his top 5. Take the best quarterback every year and just let stop complaining and shut the fuck up. That's number one. Second of all, yeah, Ohio State certainly looked bad against Northwestern, but like you said, they had none of their wide receivers, and that was one of the games that they were ravaged by COVID, and yet they come out on top. And also, Justin Fields did get hurt. That thumb is going to be an issue. I mean, they're going to get hammered this week. Dabo's going to run it up on them just to prove his point. They're going to crush them, just like Alabama's going to crush Notre Dame. So that doesn't mean that they're not worthy of it or not doing. And I mean, Northwestern's a good team, and Indiana, when that lefty quarterback was playing, was good too. They would score against anybody almost. Right. So I get what you're saying. I hear it. They only played 6 games, but who else are you going to put in there? A&M. I don't know that's. I've seen them play a couple times, and I was unimpressed on most occasions. But they did have 11 games on the schedule with 1 loss. I get it. And let's face it, if the shoe was on the other foot, Clemson would have played 5 or 6 games and been in the national championship too. No doubt. And how shitty is the ACC? Let's not talk about,
on reputation and everything else.
100%.
Knowing who they are, they would have had a spot.
They could play 2 games. Right. And not only that, the ACC sucked for, I don't know, a decade. Can we say a decade? It's damn close to it. I mean, who's been good? Miami's the second best team. Florida State hasn't been good for a couple years now, 5 at least. So they're crushing teams in there, So, slow your roll, Dabo, and just, take the money and take the rings.
Right. Notre Dame plays in the ACC 1 year and they split.
Right. So, but watch yourself. You know what I mean?
So let's get right to it. So now here's a scary part to me. Like I think you just mentioned, I love Clemson in this game. I think they can cover I would like to buy it to 7 instead of 7.5. I think they can cover that pretty easily. But here's the deal, right? I talk about Ohio State not being full strength the whole year. Man, if they might come out and be the healthiest team in the Hall of Playoffs because of how many teams they played. And if I don't know what the problem with this COVID shit in college is they don't really disclose it. It just seems like you're watching a game and they go, 20 guys are sitting out today. Yeah. As they're kicking off,
Right.
So let's say Ohio State is completely healthy. However many 100 guys they got on the team is ready to go. Who's to say they're not every bit as good as these other teams? They've been playing games without tons of guys.
Well, I mean, this Ohio State team is not the Ohio State teams of the past, certainly on the defensive line and in the defensive backfield. But I'm telling you, to say they're healthy is incorrect. That thumb is that's gonna hurt him massively, Justin Fields. That he's going to be taped heavily, and I mean, this isn't Ohio State's year anyway, just based on the talent level. But they're running into a buzzsaw here. They're going to get smashed. At 7, 7.5, 8, 10, don't matter.
To me, it just seems difficult to put a value on Ohio State since they haven't really played at full strength all year long. They've been, I think, even in that Indiana game, they had a lot of guys out. I think it was their offense, might have been their offensive line that was missing a lot of guys in the Indiana game. And then in the Northwestern game, I think it was the whole receiving core other than a couple freshmen and stuff that was out.
Oh yeah,
And
Olave.
they
Yeah, it
to
was
find
also
a
only
running back.
receivers.
And I think they had that young running back that just went nuts in the Northwestern game.
Well, that's a kid who
Ran for
transferred from
300 yards.
Oklahoma. Yeah, but he just came. I mean, that was his biggest year, his biggest game of the year by. I mean, it was a huge game by any standard, but he wasn't really. They kind of stumbled upon him. That wasn't a planned deal.
Maybe they found the horse to ride with now, and let's say the receivers are back, the offensive line is intact, everybody's healthy, not real dinged up. Who's to say this team can't come out and surprise somebody?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like this is the Clemson's best defensive team that they've had either. So, but I just don't see all that stuff. You know, that thumb is going to be an issue, and they could clamp down on the run as long as that dude Slasko or whatever, number 47, is playing for the Clemson D. They can keep it close. They got to, they do have some good corners as well, and they're going to score. There's no ATN and it just period. The end. They're going to score, and they're not going to be able to keep it within 8 for sure.
All right, so we're going to go ahead right in there and
watch that.
Clemson,
yeah,
Clemson punching in. I'm punching in right now.
Let's see what the total is, because I do like a lot of these totals.
66.5. That might not even be gettable.
I mean, there's going to be a 3. A 3 is going to be on Clemson's side, so 38-21. I mean, do you think that could be? I don't know if I mean, I like the over too, but I love Clemson.
All right, so we'll stick with Clemson. That game right here in New Orleans Superdome, the Mercedes-Benz Dome right here in New Orleans. Yeah, starting to see some Clemson and Ohio State fans around. Obviously not like usual days of New Year's Eve and Sugar Bowl and playoff games and stuff, but
Wait, when is January 1st? I don't even know what day. Today's Wednesday, right?
Friday. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Today's Wednesday.
So that means Saturday is
Friday is New Year's Day.
Saturday is the game, right?
No. New Year's Day, Friday.
Today is when? Oh shit! Right? Oh jeez! Wow! All right. it's COVID. It's fun. You don't go to work. You don't. Who the fuck knows what day it is?
Nobody knows what day it is. Nobody knows what day it is.
All right. So Friday is the day.
Thursday, New Year's Eve, and Friday, New Year's Day.
Yes, today's Wednesday.
And then you still got a couple of days off. Web. You live at the regular job.
I'm going to work till the 4th.
It's off.
Yeah, and I'm working from home that day anyway. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, even better. Even better.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, this one to me, Smith, is easy, especially with Dabble coming out like that. He has no choice to back up what he said. He's gonna, and ATN hasn't had the greatest year either. And they're gonna want to show him off to reward him for coming back and stuff. So I don't see this one being close, but I do. I mean, Ohio State's been good to us over these past couple of years.
Right. All right, we'll move to the next one. Notoriously for years, Webb, we talk about Notre Dame. Not belonging there, not deserving to be there, and I think Notre Dame always gets the benefit of the doubt. We make no qualms about how we feel about Notre Dame in these situations. We've loved Alabama this year. I'm a little gun shy that Alabama didn't cover the big spread against Florida, but how do you feel about Alabama Notre Dame game?
Well, I'll tell you this: you're not taking Notre Dame. I'll tell you that.
Woo-woo. Not taking Notre Dame. Major Maker Express.
I got 19.5 and 65.5. This is the easy bet on the over. Alabama's going to hang 40. So it's just if they're going to win 48-20 or how many are they? I mean, obviously the back door is going to be open the majority of the day, right? Even if Notre Dame go up by 14, they still ain't winning. They may cover, but they ain't winning. So, the safe play here is the over. Like I said, if Notre Dame can get to 17 points, this game goes over, which I think they will. They have good tight ends, good offensive line. The quarterback is okay. But again, we mentioned cream of the crop. They're not. There's 2 teams this year, even more show than most years, I guess. Notre Dame, it's hard to argue whether they 10-1, Smith, or 9-1. You got the record there?
Yeah, 10-1. 10-1.
Right. The only loss was to. So, I'm not going to say they don't belong there, but I think they got smashed by Alabama a year or 2 ago. And it's going to be the same type thing, but I do think Notre Dame's offense is a little bit better than that year, and Alabama's defense is probably a little bit worse, but they're not winning. It's just a matter of if they're going to lose by, 35 or 17. You know what I mean?
Well, then I love the over idea, and I think we're going to go with Bama and just lay the big wood, huh?
I mean, that to me, it's the
like
play.
You say, we're not
is
betting We're not taking Notre Dame.
Right. No, there's no way. Well, listen, it's 19.5. If it gets to 21.5, that's different.
Right.
I mean, you're going to be 3 touchdowns plus. That means you could win 45, 24 or something. So that's where I'm at with those guys.
All right. So there you go. For the big games this weekend, we like Clemson over Alabama and Alabama. What about any of these other college bowl games? Do you see any that jump off the screen at you or anything like that?
Well, I love West Virginia tomorrow. I think that's tomorrow. I do like Oklahoma tonight. I love the fact that the line moved. I'm glad I got in on it early. The only guy playing for Florida is Trask. He does need to show well. He's had a limited amount of tape at this level. I'm a big Florida fan. They've been good to us. I just think Oklahoma, anytime they play an SEC team, is getting up for it. The quarterback Rattler's playing. I just think it means more to them, and they just have more horses. They're just much more invested in the team here than 8.5 is different than the 7 I got it at. But I like Oklahoma there. Tomorrow, how is Army going to score points against the Army-Navy game? I think they threw the ball 3 times.
Right.
No, I was kidding. 3 times.
No, I know. I like West Virginia.
I don't know how they're going to cover 7 points against. I mean, I love Army. Don't get me wrong, but I mean that to me is an easy one. West Virginia minus 6.5. I even like Tulsa minus 1.5 tomorrow. That kicks us off tomorrow at noon. There's some weird ones. Ball State and San Jose State. I have no feel one way or the other.
Interesting game New Year's Day, Webb. They got Georgia and Cincinnati.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I guess Georgia the past couple of years, a similar thing has happened. They were supposed to be real good, and then they kind of stumble, and then here they go. And I think it's not the first time they played Cincinnati, and I think twice or something they smoked them both, like outclassed them big time. So that gave me some pause here. I was originally thinking Cincinnati, but now I'm open to your input on this one.
Yeah, I think what happened was Georgia didn't they change quarterbacks midway through the season?
Well, the quarterback they were counting on. They had 2 transfers, and one of the kids that was there like the entire summer and stuff from Wake Forest, 5th-year senior, opted out for COVID issues or whatever. And then they brought in a kid from USC late, and he never even got up to snuff for I think he might be playing now, but there was a 5th-year senior that's been with the program that played early, and they had trouble, and he shit the bed as it got into the middle of the season. So. Right,
and then so the Daniels, I think JT Daniels.
Yes, that's him.
Okay, he came in late, and I think they've been playing a lot different since he got in.
He's a pro. He's good.
And so I believe that he'll play. He's only a sophomore. It's not like he's going to be. And if he's going to be in there, if he's going to be in there, they're going to protect him. They're not going to throw him to the wolves. They're going to make sure he's going to be their guy next year. They're going to protect him. They're going to play ball. They're going to try and get something to go. And they might even open up the offense a little bit. To try and get them some more run. I kind of like Georgia in that one, even though I am a fan of Cincinnati. I think they've got a good D. They played good. They just struggled a little bit too much in that last game or two for me. That I think it was Tulsa. We had them late.
Yeah,
and it was just
right.
They just looked a little more like Cincinnati playing against Tulsa than a team that could be in the finals.
Right. That was looking at it. Right. That was flirting with the number 4. Yeah. I got no problem with Georgia. I think I like Georgia based. Initially, I was thinking Cincinnati. Once I did some digging, I like Georgia there too. I'm a fan of that Daniels kid.
Sure. And then also New Year's Day is Auburn and Northwestern. I don't have much of
this is a weird one. The coach is gone, right? I think the coach from Boise left Boise, and I think he's coaching. Is that correct? Am I correct with that?
The coach from Boise left. Is that where he's going? Auburn?
Yeah. So I don't know if he's coaching this game or not. I mean, I'm going to give Northwestern some respect. That's a legitimate defense. I hate we're going down the board picking every favorite here, but 3.5. It's weird to pick Northwestern against an SEC Auburn team, but I do like Northwestern. I think.
All right, I say we punt on that one. Let's see what else we got. I'll put a little NW with a question mark next to it.
We're good. We're covered. We're good. Right. No problem. We're good.
All right. Then we got they got a load of games on January 2nd, 4 games.
Yeah,
the Tar Heels are even in action that day.
Yeah, but they've had every good player opt out except for the quarterback.
Right.
So they're going to go from an offense that's averaging 35 points a game. They're missing both running backs, and I think the tight end and the receiver. So
with already a bad defense, with already a crappy defense, pretty
right.
much.
And then, but here's the thing: I don't know if A&M is going to be motivated or not motivated. Here, that's always funny when you think you're in or in that top 4 and you get shut out, and it doesn't really matter. So I don't know. 7.5. But my gut is with everything going on with Carolina, I don't know if they have the players to deal with A&M, even if they're 80% motivated.
Right. And so Mond is a senior, so I
Correct.
think they might want to give him a chance to show out too.
I would agree with that because he needs some help. I was thinking the same thing.
Right. And then we got Oregon, Iowa State, Ole Miss, Indiana, and NC State and Kentucky.
Well, the good news is the NC State and Kentucky game is on the same time as the Mississippi Indiana game, so we don't got to go both. I have no idea on the Mississippi game, to be honest with you. I'm leaning. I got Kentucky -2.5 and 50. I'm a Stoops fan. I think I'm leaning Kentucky, but I could be swayed on that one.
All right. I think let's take the SEC team. Getting 8.5 points from the Big Ten team. They're still playing with a backup quarterback. Indiana's been good all year.
Yeah,
not taking anything away from them, but I think Ole Miss will have the athletes on the outside to do some scoring.
Different without that quarterback.
Let's take Ole Miss.
Fair enough. Done. And then
Iowa State, they're a solid team. Oregon hasn't been much this year in the Pac-12, I thought. 4 points. I don't know.
I am so down on that fucking coach up there. I don't know. He minimizes his players. I don't know what he's doing up there. I think he does his skill players anyways. Iowa State, we had him early and I was pissed off at him for a little while, but I got no problem laying 4 if you want to go Iowa State here.
Okay, why not?
And I'm happy we at least took some points somewhere. That's a great pick by you, actually. Mississippi +8.5.
Great pick. Only we'll find out in a couple of days, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Clemson over Bama, West Virginia, Tulsa, Georgia, A&M, Ole Miss, and Iowa State.
The scary thing is, like, that's those are a couple of fucking mortgages on those games. So that's a scary fucking thing.
Let's do it. They're winners. That's their winners.
That's it. Winner. No doubt. All right, we got to look at the NFL here. I still have not. Well, we're gonna dig deeper, Smitt. Let's wait a week or so to get into the NBA. I haven't quite got it figured out yet. And all I do know is I hate Kyrie Irving. That's what I know.
We know that. I think we almost had a whole episode on that.
Right. Well, that's you could do a lot with that. Interesting week, my Cowboys, Smitt. I don't know what to think of them. I mean, I'm glad at least they didn't completely. If you're not going to go, 2 and whatever, you might as well win a couple. If you're not going to get that number 1 pick, you might as well win a couple and kind of.
So are they going to get in the playoff? So what's the NFC East playoff situation?
Here's the deal:
if Cowboys have to win and the Redskins have to lose.
Correct. And if the Redskins win, they're in.
Right.
So if the Redskins lose, the winner of the Cowboy game and the Giant game is the NFC champ.
So speaking of the team formerly known as the Washington team.
Right. I still can't.
I said it first, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think about that move with Haskins this week? There's been lots of talk.
I don't mind it. I mean, I don't think that Ron Rivera drafted him. I think what he did was extremely disrespectful. I don't know if it warranted his outright release, but I think, he's going to get a second chance. So ultimately, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And he might be happy he's out of Washington. But it looks like Rivera is changing some culture. I think that was kind of a power play for him. It almost helped out establishing this is my team. I don't give a shit what's going on. So if you're a Redskin fan, I think you should be encouraged. I mean, we've been fans of Riverboat Ron. He is a proven winner. So if you're a Redskins fan, I think it's good. I think it was a bit harsh, but his play sucks, and you can't combine bad play and bad behavior, So, but again, it's not the end of the world for the kid either.
Right. He'll have a second chance. And look, just you got to learn from this. You just got to fucking take
Right,
what
as
you
long
learn.
as
If you learn and move forward, great. Don't be another Jamarcus Russell or Ryan Leaf or one of these guys.
Right.
Learn from what you're doing here.
Yeah,
You'll have another chance. But it will be the leash is going to get smaller and smaller as you move forward. Being a professional is a different story. And obviously during this COVID thing, they felt he put the whole team at risk in a chance when all of a sudden they're fighting for playoff spot. All of a sudden,
there's no doubt. The coach just literally recovered this season. Was not in the building because he had cancer. So I mean, I get it, but again, it's not the end. It should not be the end for the kid. I think this is hometown too. He's a DC kid. This is going to help him get out of there. If he even, I don't know if he even needs to do a complete 180. If he just works, he'll be okay. And there's a lot worse jobs than being a number 2 or 3 quarterback for 10 years in the NFL. So if he kind of wakes up, he'll be okay.
Right.
If not, he don't deserve.
Proven time and time again. Obviously, if he got drafted so high, he's big enough, he's strong enough, he's got the arm, he's got all those things that they look for to be drafted that high. But it's a different thing to be a professional. You got to be legit, man. It's a job. You got to be professional. So hopefully he learns from that and can bounce back. But as far as Riverboat Ron, my man John Taffer talked to me once about sometimes, Webb, you got to make a landmark fire, it's called.
No doubt.
So a landmark fire. Yeah. And what that means, one that's heard around the building.
That people say, that's right.
Guess what? There's no more fucking there is no more fucking nonsense.
No more free lunch. That's right. You got to work.
That's what this was for Rivera. Obviously, he didn't play good. Number one,
made it a hell of a lot.
A million excuses why, but also the off the field things put the whole franchise, put their playoffs in jeopardy, all that kind of stuff. So, but hey, sometimes when you're 22 years old and you got millions of dollars, them strip clubs are hard to stay away from. I ain't even.
Right. Listen,
I ain't even.
You're right. But you could balance it. There's a balance there. You could do it. You could do both.
I did a lot of dumb things when I was 22, and I still do dumb things. Now I'm 50, and I don't have $100 million.
I'm fucking broke. I'm in my garage right now. Right.
Speaking of which, Webb, did you see in November, Nevada Sportsbooks, Webb, a monthly record, $61.8 million they raked in November. I feel like some of that was mine.
They got a bunch of our money. Yeah. But this always annoys me. Like, so what does that mean? Like, and then when they lose, it's like, oh my God, Nevada's losing.
They have a bad week, and they come out with a big story about how they lost this
week. Like, it's like you're crying. It's like Apple. Oh, Apple stock's down. So, I mean, you kidding me? Like, I can't stand this shit. Like, now they're gonna. Oh, look how much money you made. Okay, well, what motherfucker's gonna stop gambling? Shut up. Don't tell how much money you made, and don't whine how much when you lose.
Right. Yeah, so just when you have a bad week, just shut the fuck up about it. That's all I'm saying.
Don't put our shit out there. Don't come out, damn, man, we lost. We take our lumps, but come on. No one cares about loss. Vegas is just fine. Right. The pandemic notwithstanding, they'll be back. People gamble. Don't worry.
Right. So interesting thing after the game this week, Webb. So we've talked a little bit about the big pool we were in.
Don't even get me
so close. I don't want to. I'm sorry I bring this up, but I thought because I want to talk about J.J. Watt and his post-game press conference a little bit. And that was the team that let us down. For those that don't know, we made it 1 week away from the final. This week we had to pick 2 teams. We had the Saints and the Texans.
3rd week in a row we had to pick 2 teams. We picked 2 weeks ago, 2 last week, and we were 1 out of. We had the Saints on Christmas.
3 wins from the whole caboodle.
And we were winning we were up at home against the 2 and whatever Bengals team with a backup
19 in their last 19 road games.
Yep. We could break any streak, Smith.
Backup quarterback, 3rd string quarterback, really.
Correct. Yep. So they knocked us out.
Against J.J. Watt's defense.
We were probably in all honesty, we're probably looking like $120,000 probably. Divided. We were partners, but
divided. Still. So Texans shit the bed. All right.
Badly.
Post-game press conference. People are slapping J.J. Watts on the back. He comes out, says, "Look, man, we need to play better. We need to play harder for the fans. All this shit. Why don't you do it? Why don't you tell the team before the game that shit?
Why don't you tell him on that last fucking drive?
You just cost us, like you said, a share of $100,000.
Yeah, more than
That's all
100,000.
you want to say on this. It might not even be legal.
Right. Well, it's all right. Legal. No one's listening anyway.
But so we needed the damn Texans to win a game. I saw J.J. Watt jump off sides on 4th and 5. I watched it.
I'm glad I didn't see it.
5.
Yeah.
Why don't you give that pep talk before a game instead of making it look good for the fans after?
All right. You know what? Not even that. You did sit on your ass for 3.5 quarters. Just stop the last drive. Give me 2 minutes. Give me whatever it was, 4 minutes. Give me 4 minutes of play. One drive. That's all we needed. One stop.
Get in front of everybody and throw yourself out there like a martyr. Just win the fucking game. It's the Bengals.
At home.
And time again, J.J. Watt's been. I know everybody loves J.J. Watts. He raises money. He's big in the community.
Blah, blah, blah. Give us some money then. Give me some money.
You owe me money, J.J. Watt. You owe me money.
You owe my kids money.
Yeah. Baby needs a new pair of shoes. What the fuck are you at?
More than that.
Oh, so throws himself out in the middle of we deserve to do better for the team. We all need to the locker room. Get them fired up or something.
One stop.
We could have been in the final week, and we had teams to pick from.
Oh, we would have been in good shape.
Shit, they're down to 20 from 10,000 people. They're down to 25 this week or something.
Yeah,
they're probably all making deals with each other. Hey, fuck it, 25.
Damn right. There's money being made. People have already made money.
For you.
People have made money already. A lot of money.
It's the money train. Here's the money train.
Going right past. Money train going right past with J.J. Watt driving.
There it goes. There it goes.
Thanks.
Straight up to New York City.
Right.
Fucking Jersey Shore line right there.
Yeah.
Just sure not the Wager Maker Express and ain't making a stop at the Wager Makers.
Oh, it went right by the house.
Fucking, that's like the Polar Express, but it keeps on going.
That's right. It's like that show on TNT, whatever it is.
All right. So J.J. Watt, fucking.
Fuck him.
All right. And speaking of these games, they're all wild, right? They're fucking the Bengals. How about this game Thursday night, Webb? You can't make this shit up.
It's unbelievable. If it was a TV show, you'd be like, this is fucking ridiculous.
My wife wakes up like, oh, what happened? I'm like, I can't even. And she's like, so I was like, watch on SportsCenter. They're going to be saying how crazy this was. It doesn't even do it justice because they just picked one play. I even forget the fuck. So the Raiders were winning. They put them in.
Crazy.
Right? His magic goes down the field. They score. And then another score, bad pass interference call. They score.
That's the other thing, they're officiating.
Another crazy dude. Fitzmagic gets hit in the face.
They rip his head off, and he still throws the ball. No penalty.
Unbelievable. And then the Dolphins coach comes out that Tua's getting. I don't understand. Can you explain this to me?
How Tua can
start Sunday?
I do. Well, they're building a program. Fitzmagic is not going to be there. You got to
line this week. Fuck a program.
Well, they're right. They'll yank him again. I mean, that's what they used to do back in the day. They had Don Strock as a thing. I don't know if I disagree. I don't know Fitzmagic. I remember that the Jets. We'll talk to Nick. He broke their heart a couple years ago up here. Fitzmagic on the last week of the season. I don't know that that's clearly they're a little. If he stumbles out of the gate, you go right to Fitzmagic. I don't think it's a bad thing.
It's almost too late this time. He was magical.
Well, they ain't gonna. Yeah, but you got to limit his time, man. He hasn't been on 17 teams by accident. You got to limit his exposure.
Don't understand. What are you going to wait until you're down 14 zip?
Maybe, but that's won't be too far. I don't know if I disagree with that.
Yeah, I feel like they won. I have to look.
They got a good ass defense.
They won most of the games that Fitzmagic was playing in.
Yeah, but you can't.
I don't know. Unbelievable game. We talk about that a lot.
It'd be nice to say unbelievable when some shit happens our way. The ball bounces our way.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not going to whine. Not whining.
It bounces our way a lot. Oh, dude missed an extra point in that game that made the we were laying like a point, 2.5. So we're like, oh, as long as it's an even number, all we got to do is tie this shit up. Then the Raiders miss an extra point. Like that was the game right there. That was the game. And then it was like scores. I don't know what the fuck happened at that point.
Yeah.
How about the Saints though on Christmas Day, Webb? Alvin Kamara, green and red Christmas shoes and 6 touchdowns, broke a record that extended since 1920 something.
Yeah, well, that's a shitload of touchdowns. So I don't know, that's no surprise he shattered that record. That's good for him. I got no problem with it, but what, he's going to get fined or something? Like now we're going back to the no fun league.
He probably knows that going in.
But why? Why?
No fun league, Webb.
It just come on. If there's any year, any time,
red and green shoes and whatever they want, you wouldn't tell which team is what.
Come on.
What's next? The dude will have socks, and then the dude will say, "I want a different color helmet."
No, stop.
That's how it goes, man. You need rules in Webb.
Stop.
You need rules in life.
Stop.
Everybody wear their own shit. You wouldn't even know. Breeze wouldn't know who to throw it to. Everybody would wear a different color.
He'd figure it out. Sometimes you don't know that shit anyway.
True. All right. Anything we want to get to other than some NFL games? I think we felt we had a bad week in the NFL, Webb. And we felt quite a ways back. So what I think we should do is maybe if we don't pick them on the show right now, let's pick every game.
All right.
Every NFL game, and we'll post it this week. Unless you want to go down and pick some out right now.
That's up to you. It don't matter to me. I mean, there's nothing that this is always kind of a weird week. Everyone's in.
We got no Saturday games this week. It's all Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. I mean, I don't know that. I mean, that those NFC East games are going to be good. Washington -1.5 at Philly. I think that Cowboys kind of exposed Jalen Hurts there a little bit. If you spy him, he's not going to do much. Cowboys at the Giants. Cows
Alex Smith's quarterbacking?
No, I think it's going to be, what's the kid's name? Heineke?
Oh.
Tyler Heineke? I think that it is as of now. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's only 1.5. It's funny, the Colts are playing the Jaguars. That's knocked me out of Nick Perrone's pool for week 1 when the fucking Jaguars beat the Colts. I don't think they haven't won one since.
Yep, that was the only game they won. Only game they won. A lot of people. Brad Bohanna got knocked out of our pool.
Yeah.
In the big pool that first week.
Watch, the Ravens are playing the Bengals. Going to beat them by 700.
Right. Steelers and Browns. That should be a good game.
That's funny. No.
The Steelers are done. They're not playing for anything.
Rudolph is starting.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's Rudolph against Garrett again.
That'll be
him with his helmet again.
Maybe you'll hit him over the head with the helmet again. You can blame
love to see it.
Dude that won the fight.
I would love to see it. That'd be great. All right, well, just post them, because there's nothing really looking back to me.
I think we need to we got our college. Clemson over Bama, West Virginia, Tulsa, Georgia, A&M, Ole Miss, and Iowa State. We're gonna post the pros because we got to look into that a little closer and see who's playing for what. I think. Yeah,
I mean, I can tell you, the Ravens are gonna. I mean, they probably need that game. They're gonna crush the Bengals. I'll tell you that. They're late at 13. And I think that's probably the only one that I know that's going to happen. And the Jaguars want nothing to do with winning the game, but that's a 14-point spread. But so I don't know. They are going to do everything they can. They will not win that game, I tell you.
And just the key is, are the Colts playing for stuff still?
Right. I don't know. If you can get a money line on that game, whatever it is, because the Jaguars will not win that game.
Good point. And I think the Cardinals and Rams are playing for definite playoff type spot, but I think Goff might be out in that.
Goff is out. They're playing a guy named John Wolford. I don't know who that is, and I don't have a line here either. But I knew Murray is playing as well, and he's hurt though too. Right. But Goff is out. The
Saints play the Panthers.
That's what they get. That's what you get for losing to the Jets, man.
Yep.
Saints play the Panthers. And then what about? Do the Bears? Can the Bears get in? They're playing the Packers.
Yeah, the Bears have to win, I believe, over the Packers. And the Packers, if they win, they have the bye. If they lose, then it depends on what the Seahawks and Saints do as far as the bye goes. That's why they're all playing at the same time late in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Saints, Seahawks, and the Niners. They're going to win that game. That's the one I like. I like Seahawks -6. Saints are going to beat the Panthers if it's meaningful for sure.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Bears knock off the Packers. They've been playing better.
That'd be great. And what about does Tampa Bay's going to win -6.5? Do they need that game? That's early. Maybe they don't need it.
We'll have to find out. To find. That's what we're saying. Let's wait on the pros. Me and you are going to discuss this week, and we'll post it. We'll post it everywhere.
Yep.
Last week of the season, we'll be like, these are our free plays, and then we're going to win so many fucking games that people will be buying shit from us for the playoffs. That's what's going to happen.
Locks. Yeah, there you go. That's a plan right there.
Going to give them all out for free, week 17, and it'd be like,
That's
hey,
right.
man,
First one's for free, baby.
It's like the man on the street. They set the hook.
Yeah, that's it. First one's for free. There you go.
All right, so I guess maybe we'll wrap it up today. We got college hoops. Keep an eye out. We'll be putting college hoops and NBA.
We are hot in college hoops too, by the way.
Putting some picks out there. Keep track of our stuff, and then and if you have any questions, just let us know. Email us at thewagermakers@gmail.com, Facebook at The Wager Makers Podcast, Twitter at The Wager Makers, Instagram at The Wager Makers. You can check out our pick results at sportswatchmonitor.com. I want to thank John Grove for the bumper music. I want to thank C. Reilly and Lil Saint the Goat for our going out music. You can listen to us, don't forget, on TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, blah, blah, blah. YouTube, please like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that stuff. And Devin's going to tell you a little something about that.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers Podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Wilbur Investigations. Thank you, Nick Perrone and MN3 Technologies. And thank you all for listening. Have a very happy new year. Thanks. And tell some people, man, we're going to get this thing going in 2021. Rolling, rocking and rolling. We might even do something live around NFL playoff time and see how that goes. And thank you all for listening. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, Thrive Fantasy Sports. And yes, 2021 is the year of the Wager Makers. Let's get it going. We are for sale. Any sponsorships, anything at all. If you can, do the YouTube or Spotify thing for us and tell a friend. We got to blow it up here. And then once we get going, man, we're hiring. So, whoever needs an intern, a payable internship, we'll take care of somebody. Don't tell Nick.
Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Web and Smitt.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker Podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah.
Here comes the Wager Maker Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker Podcast with Smitt and Webb. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right, but tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.